It's, diabetes, I've learned in this conference, is caused by fat clogging the receptors and not so much by sugar. Does the glycemic index have any meaning?
I don't put a lot of stock in it at this point. If you eat a whole food plant-based diet, nothing's going to shoot your blood sugar up. It's the refined carbohydrates that get us in trouble. And if you hold your fruit moderate, like Dr. McDougall said, the whole grains have such an easy glycemic curve to them that you're not going to get in trouble. And I never really pay attention to it. And the glycemic index also is for individual foods, and nobody really eats individual foods. You eat a whole meal, and it's a matter of what that whole glycemic load is. So the whole concept is pretty minimal. Eat whole plant-based foods, enjoy lots of fresh fruits and veggies, and you ought to do fine. I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, this is one of the most important things for the consumer and scientists and medical doctors to get straightened out. And it should have been straightened out in the 1920s when a fellow by the name of Percival Himsworth published his basic research, and it was all published by 1940 in the British Medical Journal. And it's just no question about it. Fat, we're talking about pig fat, cow fat, olive fat, paralyzes insulin, increases insulin needs. Carbohydrate, including pure white sugar, increases the sensitivity to insulin. It was published by Brunzell from University of Washington in the New England Journal of Medicine in, I think, 78. Brunzell's his name. He took type 2 diabetics. He made a synthetic diet, 45% sugar, and then doubled white sugar, maltodextrose, plain table sugar, doubled it to 85% white sugar. Every aspect of the diabetes improved. Walter Kempner, back in the 40s and 50s, published his results on treating type 2 diabetics with rice, table sugar, fruit, and juice. And Kempner knew back in the 50s that sugar makes insulin work better and cures diabetics. But you see, we've got it entirely backwards these days, thinking sugar causes diabetes. You know, it's so backward and bizarre, nobody stands a chance. So we got to get this one simple fact down that has been established. Even in diabetes care 2 years ago, they took type 1 diabetics, they dramatically increased their white sugar intake and decreased the insulin needs of type 1 diabetics. You know, it's always been the same, but everybody knows different. Don't eat potatoes, turns to sugar, makes you fat, gives you diabetes. It's exactly the opposite in terms of ultimate disease outcome.
Imagine, I use the analogy. First off, that's why I stopped arguing with John way back when, because he used to tell me not only the correct answer, but the page number of the article to look it up on. So, and he was always right. But I like the analogy of, imagine if you have a bucket with a hole in it and it's filling up with water. Normally the water has to get through and down a pipe. And if it's clogged up with butter and water is filling up and then pouring on the floor, it's like saying the problem is the water is what's causing the problem, when in fact it's the butter, you know, clogging up the hole. And that's what's happening in your bloodstream. More sugar, you know, it's pouring out all over the place. But what's the problem? The problem is the fat and the insulin receptors and the problems that those cause.
Thank you.
Type 2 diabetes is 100% curable. You need to know that. It's a matter of changing diet, but it's also a matter of losing weight. And unfortunately, people are so confused. Not that the science is confused, it's just the practitioners are confused.